to 5-Minute Fridays. I am just about to start my 5-minute workout for today. Really, all we're doing today is burpees, so you do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout. But if you do your push-ups from your knees, you'll want something soft beneath you, so definitely grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. And if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. If you do the push-ups from your toes, you probably won't need anything at all. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So we are just doing burpees today, but we're going to be breaking down the burpees into their individual components. So we're starting with squats, because the first thing you do when you do a burpee, if you think about it, is you squat down. So for your squats, just make sure that your shoulders are back and down. So visualize trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. That is also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. So the next thing I want you to do is tighten up your abs, really make sure your entire core is engaged. But imagine that someone's about to come along and punch you as hard as they can in your stomach and you're bracing for that impact. That's how tight your abs should be. And then the next thing you want to actually do is not think about squatting quite yet, because if you think about squatting straight down like this, what's going to tend to happen is that your knees are going to end up out over your toes, and that's really not the movement. So instead, what I want you to do is think about hinging at the hips. Really visualize trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, and at the same time, remember, you're keeping your chest lifted nice and high. So you want your spine to be elongated. The point is that you want your back to stay flat, so you're trying to avoid a rounded back. All right, so you're tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, pushing your booty back, keeping your back flat, and keeping all of the weight in your heels. See, now I can actually pick up my toes. So make sure your knees are not tracking over your toes. Hinge at the hips, and then from this position with your back flat and the weight in your heels is where you can sink down into your squat. Then you're going to press your heels into the ground, activating all of the muscles from your feet, through your legs, your quads, your glutes, and always your core as you stand. All right, so visualize really pushing the ground away from you with your heels. Press into the ground with your heels. And that's it. That's just a basic air squat, and that's our first exercise. So let's put it all together. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back, keeping the back flat, keeping the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then pressing your heels into the ground to stand. All right, that's it. So for the next exercise, we're going to be adding on to that. We're always going to be adding an element with each work interval. So for our next work interval, we are going to squat, and then we're going to put our hands down on the ground, and I'm going to jump my feet back so that I'm in a plank position. Then I'm going to jump them right back in, pick up my hands, and then press my heels into the ground to stand. So we're just adding that little plank jump, okay? So it's a squat, hands down, jump the feet back, jump them back in, pick up the hands, and stand. Squat and plank jump. All right, if you cannot jump your feet back into a plank position and jump them back in, you can step them out and in. So you can squat, put your hands down, step your feet out one at a time so that you're in a plank position, and then step them back in, pick up the hands, and stand. Squat, hands down, step the feet out, step them back in. All right, so that's your beginner modification. Then, for our third work interval, there are just 4 work intervals, so we're already halfway there. Our third work interval, we are going to be adding a push-up. So for your push-ups, again, you want your shoulders away from your ears and you want a flat back. Now, when we were squatting, when I said a flat back, we were trying to avoid having a rounded back. With your push-ups, it's the opposite. You're trying to avoid having an arch in your back. So starting down here in your plank pose, spread out all 10 fingers so that your weight is evenly distributed. You want your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and you want to make sure that your back is flat. So we're trying to avoid an arch in the back, and that happens as you fatigue and you allow your hips or your belly to kind of droop down towards the mat. So again, you want your abs super tight, like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. You're bracing for that impact. So really engage your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. And remember, shoulders away from the ears. So if you find yourself kind of sinking down into your shoulders, the way to fix that is simply to press the ground away from you. Push yourself up nice and high in your plank, and make sure that your head is in line with your spine. So don't allow your head to drop like this. You don't need to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck and jutting your chin out. If you just imagine that you are standing with your back up against the wall, gently pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your head, just perfectly in line with your spine. And then make sure it doesn't move. It's very tempting as you do your push-ups, if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the ground, to kind of compensate for that by trying to kind of trick yourself into thinking that you're getting all the way down by lowering your forehead down to the ground. It's actually a really common mistake. So don't beat yourself up if you find yourself doing it, but once you've found that perfect alignment and your head is in line with your spine, just try to make sure that you're aware of your head staying in line with your spine. Your head should stay still. You don't want your head to be bobbing up and down. And the other thing that's really common if people cannot get their chest all the way down to the ground is they'll compensate for that by lowering their hips or their belly down to the ground. But again, remember, you want tight abs. You want to use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. And you want to maintain that flat back. So once you've found this plank pose, your body should be in one perfectly straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders. And really, since our head is so beautifully aligned with our spine, that straight line really goes from your heels all the way to the crown of your head. So once you've found that alignment, you want to make sure nothing moves. So think of your body as literally like a plank of wood, and you're lowering it down, pressing it back up. But from your heels to your head doesn't move, okay? So shoulders away from the ears, flat back. If you are doing the push-ups from your knees, the only thing that changes is that your straight line, instead of going from your heels to your shoulders, is going to go from your knees to your shoulders. All right, so that's the only difference. But from here, all you're going to do is bend your elbows, lower your chest as close to the ground as you can without breaking that straight line. And then you're going to press your hands into the ground and push yourself back up. So the goal is to get your chest all the way down so that it touches the ground. But if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. So please make sure you're working to your own level. If you need to shorten up your range of motion, that's fine. If you cannot get your chest all the way down without compensating by lowering your hips or your belly, causing an arch in your back, or if you find that you're dipping your forehead down to the ground, it's fine if you don't get your chest all the way down. That's the goal, but you may or may not reach that goal today. The objective is to maintain that straight line and to maintain integrity in your plank pose. So that's what's important. If you can't get your chest all the way down, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. Get your chest as close to the ground as you can without breaking that straight line. And once you've gotten there, just push yourself back up, and that's your push-up. So when you put all that together, our third work interval is going to look like this. We're starting with our squat. Then we're gonna put our hands down, jump or step the feet back, push up, and then jump or step the feet back in, pick up the hands, and stand. Squat, hands down, plank jump, push up, plank jump, pick up the hands, and stand. And if you are a beginner and you need an impact-free modification, if you're doing the push-ups from your knees, it's going to look like this. Squat, hands down, step the feet back one at a time, knees down, push up, come back up into your plank, step the feet in, pick up the hands, and stand. Squat, hands down, step it back, knees down for the push-up, step it in, and stand. All right, that's your beginner / impact-free modification. And then for our fourth and final work interval, we're just going to be adding a jump up. So if you can't jump, just stand and try to see if you can do a calf raise. So reach up, lift the heels, and come up onto the balls of your feet. really engaging your calf muscles to, you're pressing the balls of your feet into the ground, lifting your heels. So if you want to try doing that instead of a jump, that's fine. So if that's the case, here's your fourth and final work interval. If you're a beginner or if you need something impact-free, when you put everything together, it's going to look like this. This is basically your beginner burpee. Squat, hands down, step it back, knees down for a push-up. Now step in, pick up the hands, stand, calf raise. Squat, step it back, push up, step it in, calf raise. All right, if you are not a beginner, you're doing the push-ups from your toes and you don't need to keep it impact-free, then you're going to add a jump up. So you put that all together and it looks like this. Squat, plank jump, push up, jump the feet in, jump up. Squat, jump the feet out, push up, jump the feet in, and jump up. And that's it. That's what the burpee looks like when it's all put together, and that's all we're doing today. Now there are two ways that you can do this workout. If you are an absolute beginner, I'm going to recommend that you do the beginner workout with me. I'm going to do both versions of the workout right along with you. I'm going to do the beginner version with you, and then I'll do the more advanced version with you as well. So if you're a beginner, I'm going to recommend that instead of trying to follow along with the more advanced version, but just applying your beginner modifications, I'm going to recommend that you actually do the beginner workout with me because I'm going to have my timer set differently. For the beginner version of the workout, we are on 15-second rest intervals and 1 minute work intervals. It's a long work interval, but there's only 4 work intervals and we have nice long rest intervals in between. All right, so we're going to start with a nice long 15-second rest interval. And then with our first 1 minute work interval, we're just going to do our air squats. Then we'll rest for 15 seconds before we add on our plank jump or our plank step out. All right, then we'll do our squat into a plank for 1 minute. Then we'll rest for 15 seconds. Then we'll add on our push-up. So we're doing all of those, the same exercises with the beginner modifications, but we're giving ourselves a few seconds to rest in between. So that's the way I'm setting my timer for the beginner workout. For the more advanced workout, there are going to be no rest intervals. So our work intervals are going to be even longer. We are going to be doing each exercise for 1 minute and 15 seconds. And there's no rest intervals in between. So it's going to be super duper tough. All right, but those are the 2 different ways you can approach this. So you can either set your timer for 4 rounds of 15-second rest intervals and 1 minute work intervals, or you can set your timer for 4 rounds of just 1 interval of 1 minute and 15 seconds. Both of those are 5 minutes. It's just that with the more advanced version, you don't get any rest, and we're doing more challenging variations of a couple of those exercises, so it's going to be much, much tougher. So just make the decision that's best for you. But everything is also typed out in the description box down below the video, so hopefully that's all clear. If there are any questions about how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, please remember I'm always here to help. So ask questions if you have them. It's very important that you understand what it is that you're asking your body to do. You really need to understand how to do the exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. This workout is super duper short, so we want to really maximize the effectiveness of the workout and of each individual exercise. So you do that by minding your form. So please make sure that you're not racing through the exercises, trying to just complete as many reps as possible. If it's causing your form to get sloppy, it's always going to be safer and more effective to do fewer reps with excellent form than to just race through and do lots and lots of sloppy reps. So make sure that you are working to your own level. Please make sure you're not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Make sure you are applying the modifications as needed, resting as needed, okay? If you're going to do the more advanced version of the workout, but you find that you need to pause and rest, even though there are no designated rest intervals, that's what you should do. And if you're doing the beginner version of the workout with me and 15 seconds rest isn't enough for you, then take a longer rest break, okay? You should challenge yourself to keep the rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. So you should only continue once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. Remember not to sacrifice your form for speed. And you guys know it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Just please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help, and make sure that you are being smart, being safe. Please listen to your body. Again, don't push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Shorten up your range of motion if you need to, rest if you need to, and if you start doing the more advanced version of an exercise and it becomes too taxing, switch to the beginner modification. All right, please just make the decision that is best for you and just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start the workout, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one, and if you need something soft beneath you. You're definitely going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you for the beginner version of the workout. So I'm going to grab an exercise mat. If you don't have a mat, a towel should suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything. And then you can pause the video, go get dressed, meet me right back here. We're going to start with our abbreviated 2-minute warm-up that we have been doing on Fridays, and then we'll get right into the beginner version of the workout. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 2-minute warm-up. You're going to begin by just rolling your shoulders either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're exaggerating the movement. You want to make those circles as big as you possibly can, exploring your full range of motion here. And next, we're just going to roll our head from side to side. So you're going to start by allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder, then towards your chin, and then towards the opposite shoulder. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, you can start to feel your head getting a little heavier as you allow your range of motion to increase. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll until finally your entire torso is just kind of falling and down in front of you. Now, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees, sweeping your arms in front of you, and as you straighten your legs to stand, you're reaching up as high as you can. And again, each time you bend your knees, just allow your range of motion to increase, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep the feet planted right where they are. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. Adding the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm just reaching across my body like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Now step the feet in and we're going to march. So you can start with your knees low, and then gradually as the interval progresses, you can start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And we're just going to finish with a quick hamstring stretch. So I'm using this post to assist me. You can use the wall or the arm of your couch or a chair. The point is that if you use the wall or a chair or something to assist you, it just can make it a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable to get into this stretch. Might make it a little bit more accessible because you want to try to keep your back as flat as you can as you get into this stretch so that you isolate your hamstrings a little more effectively. But that's it. That's our 2-minute warm-up. So let's go ahead and get right into this beginner/impact-free version of the workout. Make sure you have something soft beneath you for the push-ups. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is a 15-second rest interval, so we have a little bit of time to get ready. You're going to begin standing in the middle of your mat, and we're starting with air squats. So your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high, You're gonna push your booty back. Keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then press your heels into the ground to stand. We're here for 1 minute. It's a long work interval, I know, so just do your best. Remember that if you need to pause and rest, that is what you should do. Challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only continue the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. And make sure you're working to your own level. You want to do your best to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. But if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. That's fine. You can come here if that's where you are. The important thing is that you're making sure to keep your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels. So making sure your knees are never tracking over your toes. Remember to hinge at the hips, push your booty back, and make sure you're not rounding your back at any point. Nice. Now we rest for 15 seconds. We're going to add on to that. So now you're going to squat down, place your hands flat on the mat in front of you, and you're going to step your feet back one at a time. So squat, place the hands down, step your feet back one at a time so that you're in a plank position, and then step them back in. Pick up the hands and stand. Squat, hands down, step it back, and step it in. So remember, as you're coming down into your plank, you want to avoid sinking down into your shoulders like this. Make sure you're pressing the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears, and make sure your back is flat. So don't allow your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat. Your abs should be nice and tight, like someone's about to come along and punch you in the stomach as hard as they can, and you're bracing for that impact. So tighten up your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips nice and high in that plank pose. And that's it. That's our second work interval. So now we have another 15-second work interval, and now the fun part. We get to start doing push-ups. So we're going to add on to what we just did. So you're going to squat, place your hands down, step your feet back. Now, knees down for a push-up. Now come back up into your plank, step the feet in, and stand. 1 minute here. So make sure with your push-up that your body is in one perfectly straight line from your knees all the way to your shoulders. And really that straight line extends to the crown of your head, because remember, your head should be perfectly up and down in line with your spine. So don't allow your head to droop down like this. And make sure that you're not allowing your hips or your belly to come down to the mat. So if you can't get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine, but don't compensate by lowering your hips or your belly down. Now we rest, and this is it. This is our fourth and final work interval. We're just going to add a calf raise. So now as you stand, you're going to press the balls of your feet into the mat and lift your heels. So squat, hands down, step it back, feet or knees down for your push-up. Come back up into your plank, step it in, pick up the hands and stand, and now calf raise. Hands down, step it back, push up, step the feet in, and stand. Come up onto your toes for a calf raise if you can. If the calf raise is too difficult, you can eliminate it and just stick with what we were doing the previous work interval. That's fine. If you do not need to keep it impact free and you want to and you're able to add a little jump, you can do that. That's what we're going to be doing in the more advanced version of the workout. So if you're able to and you want to, you can do that. If not, you're right here. And that's it. That's our 5-minute beginner/impact-free version of the workout. Nicely done. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go, 1 final burpee, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Start by standing in the middle of your mat. Now squat down, place your hands flat on the mat, step your feet back, knees down for the push-up. You can eliminate the push-up for the bonus burpee if you've had enough with push-ups for today. Calf raise if you can, and if you want, you can add a little jump. All right, with that, our beginner/impact-free version of the workout is now officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, let's go ahead and get into this more advanced version of the workout. It's going to be super tough, so just do your best. There are no designated rest intervals, so do your best to keep moving for the entire 5 minutes, but rest if you need to. We are starting with air squats. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So just regular air squats, making sure your shoulders are back and down. So visualize tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets, keeping your shoulders back and down, keeping your chest lifted nice and high, and make sure you're pushing your booty back so that the weight stays in your heels. Flat back, weight in the heels. We're here for another 40 seconds. These are long work intervals. Our work intervals are 1 minute and 15 seconds long. So again, rest if you need to. Just do your best to keep your rest breaks as short as you can. If you do need to pause and rest. But they should be as long as you need. You should only continue with the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. All right, we're here for 10 more seconds, and then we're going to be adding on a plank jump. No rest interval, so right into it. We're going to squat, place your hands down, jump the feet back so that you're in a plank position, jump them right back in, pick up your hands and stand. So squat, hands down, jump the feet out and in, pick up the hands and stand. Make sure as you're in your plank pose that you're keeping your back flat. Don't allow your hips or your belly to droop down like this. Your abs should be nice and tight, like someone's about to come along and punch you in the stomach as hard as they can. You're using your ab muscles to lift your hips up high in that plank. Okay, get ready. With our next work interval, we're going to add on a push-up. So now you're gonna squat, place your hands down, jump your feet back, and now we're gonna do a push-up. Jump the feet in, pick up the hands, press your heels into the ground to stand. Squat, plank jump, push up, jump the feet in, and stand. So make sure on your push-up that you're keeping your body in one straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders. And make sure your head is in line with your spine. Make sure you're not allowing your head to bob up and down. If you can't get your chest all the way down, don't compensate by lowering your forehead to the ground. Don't compensate by lowering your hips or your belly to the ground. Keep that body in one straight line. You want integrity in that plank position. Final work interval. We're gonna add a jump. So let's put it all together. Squat, hands down, plank jump, push up, jump the feet in, pick up the hands, and jump up. Squat, hands down. Jump the feet back, push up, jump the feet in, and jump up. I know it's hard, keep pushing. This is our final work interval. We have about 30 seconds left. Squat, plank jump, push up, jump the feet in, pick up the hands and jump up. Let's do one more. Squat, jump the feet out, push up, jump the feet in, pick up the hands, and jump up. And that's it. That's our 5 minutes, we did it. Nicely done, that was a tough 5 minutes. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. With that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's just do a quick little cool down. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down and while you allow your breathing to normalize a little bit. So make sure you're sending that breath all the way down to your belly button. Really feel your diaphragm being pulled down and allow your rib cage to expand. Think about filling up your entire torso with air. And then use your diaphragm to control the air out as you exhale. And just keep moving so you can pace back and forth. You can shake out the legs. Let's just do a quick shoulder stretch. So bringing one arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in tight towards your chest. Make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulder is completely relaxed. If your shoulder's all tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So relax the arm, feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. One more deep breath here. Shake it out, and let's get the other side. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in tight towards your chest. Straight arm is relaxed, shoulder is relaxed. Really feel that stretch in the shoulder. And you want to just keep moving while you're doing this. So again, you can pace, you can shake out the legs. I always just kind of shift my weight from foot to foot, but you want to keep moving and remember to keep focusing on your breathing. Shake it out. We're going to do a quick tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, you're going to place your opposite hand on the elbow and then gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that this free hand is completely relaxed. Your fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. So what you want to avoid is having this free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. Fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. One more deep breath here. And come out. Shake it out. Let's get the other side. So bending the opposite arm, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. And you're continuing to move, so just shifting your weight from foot to foot, shaking out the legs, and continuing to focus on your breathing as well. So breathing all the way down to your belly button, and controlling the air, using your diaphragm to control the air on the way out. Shake it out. We'll finish with a quick quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you may need to hold onto the wall or a chair or something for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot. If you're holding onto a chair for support, you'll just grab a hold of your foot with the hand on the same side. If you're not holding onto anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and really press your heel into your booty cheek. As you're doing that, make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward. So it's going to feel like you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. And try to think about touching your spine with your belly button. As you're doing that, keep pushing, keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quads as you isolate them more effectively, but you'll also feel the stretch continue all the way up to your hip flexor. So shake it out. Let's get the other side, bending the opposite knee, bringing the foot up behind you. Reach back with your hand that's on the same side and grab a hold of the top of your foot. If you are not holding onto anything for support, you can grab your foot with both hands, press your heel into your booty cheek, and as you're doing that, making sure you're tilting your pelvis forward, tucking that booty underneath you, sucking your belly button all the way back to your spine. And as you do that, you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. Really feel that nice stretch in your quads. Feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. We'll take one more nice deep breath here. Press, 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 press with that heel and come out. And one more time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That's our little cool down. If you feel like you're still breathing heavily, your heart rate is still elevated, just take a couple more minutes. You can continue to pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a wonderful idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking time to stretch every day, a good 15 or 20 minutes if you can spare it. Right now, immediately following the workout is always going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to stretch now, that's fine. Just remember that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you're going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable enough so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. But make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day. It's going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and of course it's going to improve your flexibility. So make sure that you're stretching every day. Just please make sure that you're doing so safely. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this little 5-minute workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Let me know which version of the workout you did, or did you do both versions with me? Did you kind of mix and match? Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, especially since we were dealing with 2 different formats, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please remember I'm always here to help, so just ask. If you enjoy these little 5-minute workouts and you would like to see more of them, please remember that I have an entire playlist of 5-minute workouts on my channel. I will link it right there, and we will be continuing to do these 5-minute Fridays every week for the foreseeable future. So that means that I will be continuing to bring you at least one new 5-minute workout a week, every week for the foreseeable future. That is going to do it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you all next week. Bye.